the top life lessons that we can learn from the Diddy arrest. Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you. I'm the real Cigar Jeff, and you know what it is. It's the Smoke Drink Something podcast right on the screen. It's already messing up. Y'all do me a favor. Look below in the description. Support the channel. Get the merch. Follow us on the socials, man, as Rhonda gets her screen together. Y'all know we don't do no editing over here. It's real life stuff over here. And man, I appreciate y'all coming on again. This Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the real Cigar Jeff, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We just surpassed 6,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Good
and
job.
Guys, I gotta tell you, if you having a seizure, that's because Rhonda keep moving her screen.
It's sliding.
We just
Apple
surpassed 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, man.
That's
So
right.
I really appreciate you guys listening and supporting us, man. Thank you guys. We building this thing. We just 94,000 away from 100, so I can get that plaque behind the wall and get rid of the old air light. So you know, guys, we gonna get this thing, man. I just appreciate everybody tuning in. Tonight's topic: the top life lessons we can learn from the Diddy arrest. But y'all know, before I get into it, I gotta introduce the person y'all just seen struggling with iPad. Because at the end of the day, we get iPad. We don't get all the accessory stands and stuff to make sure that don't happen. We prop it up with something.
It is on the stand.
I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Tell y'all what she's sipping on tonight.
Thanks JB for having me back. I'm sipping on. I'm keeping it what we had last week. So I'm feeling cozy. Yes, I still got my spoon in there because it's still hot. Got my hot chocolate again, of course, mixed in with my Bailey's vanilla mint shake.
Nice.
So I'm doing that again tonight. You know, for Helene, since she about to come through the Southeast.
She coming.
And be like, let me just be cozy. Be like, girl, chill. Mm-hmm. She mad at Diddy too.
Guys, that hurricane is churning out in the Gulf. I'm down here in Tampa, but looks like we're gonna avoid the biggest part of it. So, but when it break land, it's headed right for Atlanta and Charlotte, man. So all my listeners up there, man, y'all batten down the hatches, get you some brews, get you some drinks,
some hot chocolate.
And man, look, some hot chocolate and Baileys, and ride it out, man. Y'all know, just like last week, I'm smoking my blunt. I still gotta get rid of that. Y'all gonna see that a couple times in a row. I love these bundles. It's Maronia and Juliet, a knockoff from Cigar International. And of course, y'all see I'm drinking the bourbon tonight because it's a tough subject. And it's my small batch. Still getting through that, my Four Roses. So just want to let y'all know, for all of y'all who said, Jeff, you put out so many videos without a cigar, man, you call yourself the real Cigar Jeff. Guys, I'm still the real Cigar Jeff.
And you want to live.
But we talk when I do my short form content, I gotta do it quick. But I talk about what cigar smokers talk about in the lounge. This is what when you go to a cigar lounge, these are topics people talk about.
Mm. So
when I hear people talking, I'm gossiping. I'm watching it. I'm listening to everybody's gossip. So again, guys, this Diddy story gets more intriguing by the day. So me and Ronald talk about relationships all the time. Last week we did the top R&B songs. We done the trad wives. We done a lot of relationships. I said to give it a break tonight. We're gonna talk about a current event. And what better current event to talk about than the Diddy arrest? And what I said is, what are the life lessons we can learn? Good thing about it, guys, for all my Spotify listeners out there, won't be no article today. Me and Rhonda just gonna talk like we having a conversation on the phone. Now, Rhonda, when you first heard about the Diddy arrest, what was going through your head?
I wasn't really surprised. The only thing that did catch me off guard was I thought they were going to let him turn himself in. I didn't know they were going to go get him.
Mm-hmm.
And so
he didn't either.
So I thought that, according to how they put it out there, that he had been working in good faith with them throughout this whole time. So it was kind of like, whoa. But then on the flip side, I'm like, maybe they saw something that they were like, oh, let's go scoop him up right now.
Mm-hmm.
let's not wait.
Mm.
And so yeah, so it was disappointing to see that what they found. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Everybody know what they found in the hotel room. Just like wow.
Yep,
Yes,
yep.
like but everybody's, allegedly, right? Everybody's innocent until proven guilty and all the stuff that we supposed to say or whatever. But yeah. So my part was like, dang, they got him. Like, dang, they got him. But did he need to get got? I think so.
Well, you guys can, and I appreciate you sharing that, Rhonda. I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. I read the indictment when they first dropped it online, and
Of course you did.
when I first saw the Diddy arrest, and y'all can see my short form content that I got on Diddy and these other videos. I'm not going. You can go through my playlist. I'll link the playlist at the end, and you'll see it. I want to say it'll be above Rhonda, I believe, but you'll see the training events or something like that, and I'll put it on there. You can see my Diddy videos, but I can tell y'all what I thought, man. I can tell y'all what I thought. I said, who did he stop paying?
Mm.
Because when the money run out, right? All of a sudden, what was legal while the money was being paid become illegal.
Mm.
And the number one thing I said, who did it when the money ran out? Who did it not pay? And who is the person who did it was about to expose next? Because at the end of the day, why are they locking him up? Right? They couldn't lock him up for the Cassie video because that was outside of statute of
what if they were
limitation.
doing that to? Maybe they're trying to save him from whoever is trying to get him.
See, Rhonda, and that's this. He's too big of a guy and knows too many people. And I like what you said, Rhonda. Maybe we lock this man up because he done got himself in some stuff he can't get out of, and we protecting him. It's possible that could be happening.
But then the way he's been acting in prison, though, in jail, it's kind of like maybe he won't ready to be locked up.
Well, I can tell you, and guys, for the record, y'all know they got him on certain ways I can't say on YouTube, but they got him on special watch. Okay, but that's standard. That's not because they think something will happen to him. That's just a standard procedure. I heard he's in there with Sam Bankman-Fried, who did the FTX scandal with Tom Brady and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, I'm gonna tell you, man. Nobody, some people weren't shocked. For me, in college, all we had was Bad Boy. When that Club Mix came on, Bad Boy, you knew the party was about to get jumping. So one of the things I find funny around it is the emotional attachment we have to the music. This happened with Kales. Like when you saw this happen to Kales, we got so consumed with listening to the music that we don't see the person. Right? We don't see the person, but these people got potential flaws just like the rest of us. So go ahead.
No, you're fine. I just think, you can be desensitized to whatever they're doing in their lives, right? Because let's just be real, people with money, they have access to certain things regular people don't, right? And so it's like, yeah, you enjoy the music, like you done sweat it till you couldn't sweat no more on the dance floor, and
popping more wet with my student loan money.
you know what I'm saying? So it's just, I could see how you could forget, but if we're gonna be honest, a lot of these people probably got backgrounds that we're just like, oh wow, but I still listen to their music.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of exposure.
Well, it's the same thing I tell people, right? The same thing I tell people that work for me. Your identity and your role. See, we knew Diddy role. We didn't know Diddy the identity because we didn't care. If you banging out hits.
Well, we will hear certain things, but just dismiss it.
Just dismiss it because how did it affect us? It didn't.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason I want you to do this long form content on the Diddy situation, guys, is I've been studying a lot of people on YouTube talking about the Diddy situation. And the reason I think Diddy gonna get off, right? Because only thing people talking about is the baby oil. It's being made such a mockery on Instagram. You see all the reels and that kind of thing. Because the indictment, they're still trying to look for people who gonna go against it.
Oh no, man, them guns with the serial number scraped off. I
don't
know.
But I can tell you like this: they still got to prove that it's his. So I agree with you on the guns, but they got to prove that it was his. And just because it was quote unquote in his house, if somebody else say they were my guns, that charge is gone. And Diddy got this kind of money. If Diddy got this kind of money, and what I'm trying to tell y'all before I get into my top life lessons, when these witnesses lose that protection, if you will, because right now we don't know who victim one is, And we don't know who those 70 witnesses are because they are anonymous right now. But when that starts to come out, and I'm gonna tell y'all another reason why I think it's a weak case. Y'all see the lady Gloria Allred, I think it was Gloria Allred representing the girl who just filed a new RAPE claim against Diddy, right? So they did that too. So, right, that case is not as strong as a lot of people think. Now, it's sensational. It's sensationalized like you want to believe. We can't believe Diddy was doing all that with
But we
women or with
can.
men.
But we also
But
can.
we can. When you listen to the music now, it makes sense. When you listen to the music, guys, I was going to the club. I was just going to the club to dance, have a good time. I ain't know that's what motivated it. But now you listen to the music, it's right there. It's right there. Now, Ron, I went ahead, I wrote down
Of course.
some top life lessons.
Of course
I'm
you
gonna
did.
start first tonight.
Yes, please
Cause
do.
I
Say
let
it
you
last.
start. I
First
let
say
you
it last.
start. I let you start an R&B song. I let you start an R&B song and then mess my whole list up. I said I ain't gonna do that tonight.
No, you're gonna help me because I
Yeah.
don't have a list tonight. I was ready for
Okay.
an article.
Okay, guys. Life lesson number one for me.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, these are just my opinion. Don't get mad. Learn to be rich while you are poor. Don't learn to be rich once you become rich.
Mm.
And a lot of us don't ever think we're gonna be rich. And so we don't plan on being rich. And then we learn it on the fly. What Diddy is doing, somebody taught him. What Diddy is doing, somebody taught
Well,
him.
that's what's been implied, allegedly.
Well, Diddy, and the reason why I'm saying this, guys, learn to be rich while you're poor. A doctor, a doctor has to learn to be a doctor while they're going to school, while they're going to residency. But this didn't happen for real life. See, if I get my medical degree, I know how to be a doctor. When this money comes to me, I'm using the poor things I got taught to help me navigate through this rich life. And then I meet toxic people that's going to teach me, and now you can do this and get away with it. If you find yourself paying for loyalty, paying for a friendship, paying for people from your hood, bro, you didn't get taught the right way. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world. Why don't you hear nothing about that with him? Because he learned how to be rich while he was actually doing them books at Amazon, driving a 96 Accord. What do you think about that life lesson, Rhonda? Learning how to be rich while you're poor.
I mean, that's something you got to think on for a minute because, like, but I mean, because we know poor is a mindset, right? But so is being
Mm-hmm.
rich
So being rich.
is a mindset, and so, but when you're birthed out of the poorness, it's kind of like,
Poverty.
and it's like how you don't want to become bipolar either in the process.
But,
So thank you.
but bipolar, guys,
You know what I'm
bipolar.
saying? Like having those
Yeah.
split personalities because you know you want to be rich, but in reality you're poor. Like that's that almost in line with that fake it till you make it type thing, which we all have been taught on some
We
level.
have it taught.
Uh-huh.
And Rhonda, that's what the reason why I said learn to be rich while you poor. You learn everything else. So if I know I'm gonna make it, I need to learn how that lifestyle lives. But guess what? When you come from, and Diddy wasn't a poor guy, by the way. Diddy wasn't a poor guy. I think Diddy went to a private school. He went to Howard, didn't make it, all that kind of stuff. That's why Biggie could rap a way that Diddy couldn't, because Diddy didn't experience what Biggie experienced, right? And Ronnie, that's why I'm saying to you, we learn everything else while we're poor. We're gonna make the best grades. We try to get into the best schools. When we apply to that school, they take us, let us tour it, send us brochures. Now you can go online and all this kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? We used to have a thing called Career Day. I don't know if they do that now, but guys, everything else gets taught to us while we don't have it, except being rich. So Diddy goes, and now he's one of the most powerful men in the world, but nobody taught him the responsibility that came with the riches that he had. Because the reason he having freak offs, and everybody thought they were having a freak off till they read this indictment. Now you realize Diddy will stay at your party 30 seconds.
Oh Lord, there you go.
So learn to be rich while you're poor, just like you learn everything else with a hope and expectation that you're gonna get there one day. You agree with that one? I don't disagree.
I mean, I could understand that one. Like I said, like you got to sit with it for for a minute when you come from a place like you said of poverty. Um, but you still always gotta have that hope that one day it's gonna be different. So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah. So
Absolutely.
I could say
Now,
I can agree with that.
okay. Okay. No, that guys, that's a big one. Because Rhonda don't necessarily agree with my thoughts on some things.
Sure don't.
I got the next one, guys. I got the next one. Get rid of your addictions before you get the money.
But
Get
that ain't
rid of
gonna
your
happen.
addictions. Get rid of your addictions before you get money. And guys, one of the things that's gonna hurt Diddy, one of the things that's gonna hurt Diddy is the amount of drugs in play. And those were prescription schedule 1, schedule 2. Get rid of your addictions before you get money, guys. Because money is an amplifier. If you don't get rid of that addiction before you get the money, that addiction will consume you at some point. What do you think about that one, Ron?
No, I think that's a tough one. Like I don't think it's I think that's easier said than done. I think if we're honest about how we're wired as humans, certain things are passed down to us.
Mm-hmm. Now, generational
You
curses
know,
and addiction, two different things, but I know where you're going with it.
and it's like you you just some demons you don't even know you're battling until
Mm-hmm.
you're on it type deal. And so, and I think once you get that paper, you ain't gonna let none of that go because guess what? I can handle it, or I got you know. I I know people that can help or cover up or whatever the case may be. Because at
Yes.
the end of the day,
Yes.
we all need a
Yes.
tribe that'll cover up stuff for us. At the
Everybody.
end of the day,
Everybody got to be covered, guys. Everybody got to be covered, right? That's why I'm bringing it up. And guys, these are life lessons. And guys, I'll tell y'all just like this, right? I hope I can share this to y'all without y'all judging me. But I tell a lot of
too
people this
late.
story.
Hmm.
When I first started working for corporate America, I just graduated from NC State, and the only thing I got, the only
Uh oh.
thing I taught to drink. Sorry, guys, one of my pictures fell on the side. The only thing I knew how to drink, if I'm drinking a beer, I'm either drinking Corona or I'm drinking Heineken.
Hmm.
Well, when we would do the company, happy hours and stuff like that, the only thing you could get was Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light. And I'm like, man, I don't drink that weak crap.
Mm.
And guys, the executives of the company had to let me know, hey Jeff, man, you can order your Heineken or your Corona, man, but we ain't drinking to get drunk. He
Hmm.
said, bro, we trying to drink for a long time so we can have conversations about how we gonna do more business with your clients. We're not trying to get drunk. And now, guys, if you ever see me drink a beer, it's gonna be a Michelob Ultra. Now, will I still drink my Heinekens? Yeah, but I know I can't have more than 3 because if I have more than 3, I'm not in control of me anymore. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, if you ever drink with me, you're gonna say, God, dog, Jeff drinks a lot. But what you're really not looking at is, what is he drinking? Because there's certain things to drink for enjoyment, and then there's certain things to drink for pain because you're going through some stuff. But a lot of us only got taught to drink because we're in pain. What happens when your life is free? You start drinking the same stuff, or you smoking the same stuff, or you snorting the same stuff, or you injecting it.
Hmm.
And that's why I'm saying, Ryan, to get rid of that addiction before you get the money, because money is an amplifier. Because what you clearly looking at is Diddy. The more he made money, the more this thing got crazy. Jump in there, Ryan. Let me know what you think about that one.
Well, I'm gonna tell you how I translated that. Be in check with your emotions,
Okay? Before
because
you get the money.
well, yeah, period. Yeah, money or no money. Be in check with your
Mm-hmm.
emotions because all those things lead to us doing certain things. Um, it's a driving force behind pretty much everything. It's just some people show it and some people don't. But
Mm-hmm.
um, but let's be real about Diddy. Diddy had a drive like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when you're driven like that, that's very clear. Something happened to you because that's where that stuff comes from. Like we just know we don't want to be a certain way, right? That's why we
Yep.
we
Yep.
we get shaped by the age of 8, like what we're exposed to and things like that. And so but he was driven, especially if any of y'all watched Making the Band or his story
Yes.
before with being an
Yes.
intern with I forgot the name of the record company. Was it Andre Harrell or whoever he
Yeah,
was
Arista.
before?
Yep.
Aaron, okay.
Yep.
Like he had a certain drive there. Now we don't know why all the details, but yeah, everything emanates from your childhood, and then how you express yourself as an adult, physically, mentally,
And
emotionally, all that kind of stuff. It
but
shows.
it goes back. It goes back to what you were saying on the last one too, though. Man, I don't think I'm gonna make it when I'm doing this. Man, I just want to tell people to stick to it. Man, it's gonna be all this deep down. When you by yourself, you thinking, bruh, how this thing gonna work out? I don't know how it's gonna work, but I gotta keep grinding, right? Because your
Hmm.
creativity comes out of your poverty. You don't see wealthy people becoming creative. Wealthy people listen to people who don't have it, and then they execute. So
Well,
Diddy
and
could
wealthy
just
people
be.
are open to opportunities too. They are
Well,
open.
absolutely, absolutely. And one of the things I think I think we forgetting is that Diddy always wanted to be accepted in the black community. He wanted to be that guy that the black community looked up to. And then that's why you go to Howard, right? Let's be honest, Howard ain't easy to get into. Howard is one of the toughest HBCUs to get into. That's why if you see somebody who went to Howard, you look, they smart, and they did it by choice because they probably could have gotten any PWI that they wanted to. They just
Hmm.
chose Howard. So Diddy was able to get in there, but he didn't stay focused. Why? I think Diddy realized at that point he didn't want to do it the traditional way. But if you don't want to do it the traditional way, guys, just know it's more demons out there for you. It's more demons out there for you. Now, Rhonda, I got this next one.
Hmm. I like your
I
list.
got
Go
this.
ahead.
Now you stop and tell me if you got a
I
list
only
now.
have
If
one.
you got okay, go. Let's talk about yours then.
It ain't much,
Go
but
ahead.
you have to be resourceful and have options.
Okay.
That's not even for Diddy. That was for his victims.
Gotta be
You got
resourceful.
and have more options, because if you got somebody that can lock you in to where you have no way out, and
And you slipping.
I'm just
You
saying,
slipping
did you
because you
have an
dousing
album
baby
called
oil.
No Way Out or something? Like this
Mm-hmm.
stuff is so much stuff is adding up, man. It's like
Well, that Keisha Cole song now. Last night,
that's my jam.
right?
I mean, it
But
was
you
my
listen at the
jam.
words.
Yes.
I want me to edit that out.
No, don't listen.
Yeah. Listen at the end when he cussing out.
Yeah, no, that
Listen at
was
the end when he cussing out. Yeah.
yeah. Like, but even when I was coming home last night, and I had on Sirius, and it was Mario's I don't wanna know that song. He said, I wanna
Yeah.
know where you move, how you move, and where you whereabouts, and how you. I'm like,
He listens to it different
change the
now.
stage. Yeah, it was still a banging beat though, but I was
Yeah.
like, dang, did he?
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I like what you're saying. Basically, guys, some of y'all, and again, we ain't victim blaming here, right? We ain't victim blaming. But you put all your hopes and dreams in this one person,
Yeah.
right? You put all this hopes and dreams. You hoping this person gonna put you on. But y'all got to understand, man, when you hang around successful people, they gonna always drop you if you don't keep growing with them. At some point, they gonna have to drop you. Because at some point we can't party all the time. You got to keep producing. Let's be honest. Diddy's still living off of Biggie stuff. That's
Hmm.
why he served Biggie. He served Biggie because he knew he was only relevant because of Diddy. But when you start looking at making the band now, Danny Kane, all these people, they couldn't keep it up. Diddy drove people so hard. And now these people are like, well, if he wouldn't have been so mean, I could have done this. It don't work like that. You get spit out. I like
Yeah.
that, Ron. I
Yeah.
like that, man. Y'all got to have, look, guys, you got to
Well, it
have
sounds like
multiple
he
people.
had options too. I ain't saying that he didn't, because evidently, whoever the powers that be that did, I'm gonna just say this for lack of a better word, pour into him. However,
Yeah.
however they did it, who you're not gonna if you want to stay mediocre, you're gonna stay where you are.
Yes.
But if you're gonna have
Yes.
mentors in your life, you better have somebody that's gonna stretch you. Because otherwise, what's
Yes.
the purpose? Don't need to be
And
wasting
these
anybody's
people,
time. And
that's a
and
good
and
luck.
did and then making the band Diddy was as bad as it was, as far as now looking back now. It's like,
Looking
dang.
back at it now.
But he
Yes.
was trying to teach them a work ethic. We just didn't know the backstory,
Yes.
right? Like the behind
Yes.
the scenes, because they did something with Lori Ann Gibson, and I remember that. Like I remember
Yeah.
her being a
Yeah.
choreographer for stuff, and they would go at it all the time. So like all this little stuff is coming out. They had something with Angie Stone speaking on it, and like
Right.
all
Look,
that kind of stuff. And
everybody
he's had his
involved in it.
hands on the pulse of a lot of people in in the music industry
And
that
guys,
it's
and
undeniable.
when he said can't stop, won't stop, now we realizing this man wasn't lying. And a lot of people got caught up in the lifestyle and they got let go because they couldn't stay with that lifestyle. And I think that's why I told you, Ronda, when these names come out and they get under cross examination, Diddy already know what you made of. And when you get under cross, nobody can protect you.
Well, that's what predators do, though. Predators ain't gonna pick
Wanda,
somebody that can come up against them and show and
but
prove
but
and stuff. They
but
need to
that's
get
the point.
someone that is just, you know.
But these record labels knew Diddy knew the hood. And Diddy knew talent when he saw it. Diddy knew talent when he saw it. I remember when Mace came out. We didn't know who this cat was. But now he and Diddy. Throw your rollies in the
Yeah.
wave side to side. Keep your hands right.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Total. We got Total coming. We got 112 coming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right? And again, you know, when he come on the thing with B2K, bump, bump, bump. Right? You just the hits just kept coming. But none of them could keep the hits going. And Diddy had to keep moving. Right? So Ron, I think you're bringing up a good point because a lot of us don't understand how to not fall in love with everybody we meet and put our hopes and dreams in one person.
Or fall in love with a person that helps us at a time when we needed help the most.
Absolutely, guys.
And then you feel indebted to them, and then you know. So I think it could work both ways. You can work both ways, guys. Allegiance, and then they're like, "Oh, I got you now. You gonna have to do what I say." So I think it goes both ways with that.
Because Ron, I think it's funny. Who's that lady who used to do the dance team that had to go to prison?
Oh, Abby.
That lady. Remember Abby?
I think that's her name.
Dance Moms or something?
That was my show now. Mm-hmm.
Everybody loved that show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that lady ended up going to prison.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm trying to tell you guys is this, man. Like the number one thing that happens, life lessons. I like that Rhonda said, be resourceful, but it's on both sides. Diddy should have started looking for some other types of people too. Instead of keep coming back to this same well, trying to recreate the 90s over again and over again and over again. He didn't evolve either. Yeah. And this is, when you look at the people who Diddy was involved with, Diddy kept coming back to that same well. He kept coming back to the same well and started getting the same results. Like, who's the last banging bad boy entertainer? Who's the last one? I can tell you Carl Thomas. I can tell you some of those guys, but Diddy ain't had no banging artists. Diddy been doing most of his stuff himself. The girl Danity came to work out.
I just remember Craig Mack, man. That flavor in your ear, right? That was after Biggie, what? Right? Like something like
no.
Oh no, Biggie did.
Because remember, right? Biggie, Biggie did the remix. He was first.
So I'm like, it's, he did. He found some super rich talent for sure.
And then he lost it. Then he started finding people.
If I got a tape on you. Allegedly.
Get back in the screen, man. Get back in the screen.
Allegedly.
Right? So guys, I like what Riley said. You got to be resourceful, right? So now, guys, all y'all who claim Diddy ruined you,
legally resourceful.
I should also, allegedly, I should also see where you work with somebody else who was able to get the most out of you. Like, get that Diddy may have done some stuff and all that kind of stuff, but that should also be something else that you were able to do because you got with somebody else who understood you better.
I'm just using her as an example, but how Aaliyah was with Kales, but when she got with Timberland and Missy Elliott, it took her to another level.
Took her to a whole nother level. And that's what y'all got to see.
She won't be exploited. I don't think so, but that's a whole nother.
And that's what happened, right?
But
that's what happened. You get so many people who keep going to victimhood. What would have hurt Diddy the most is if all these people would have done something different without him. Because the only reason we know you is because of him. And now decades have passed by. That's what I like about Mace, man. It is what it is. Bro, if you listen to Mace, so it is what it is.
Is that a podcast?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Mace is a better podcaster, and Mace was a hell of a rapper, hell of an artist. But if you watch him on It Is What It Is, his talent is so much greater. If you watch him and Cameron, these boys are good at other things. And all these people who are with Diddy right now, I don't see none of them starting a podcast like Mace is doing. Because Diddy gave him all that royalties. He gave it to him. Right?
We never see why.
Well, we'll never see why. He was trying to atone. And what I'm trying to tell you, I want to see some talent from all these other people Other than just bashing Diddy. Okay, Diddy go to jail. Now what? He can file bankruptcy if he lose. So you don't get no money from him, right? So what else are you going to do now? You should still have something else that you can leverage what you went through. Because you either lose or you learn. Or you either win or you learn, right? So now I just don't see these people doing anything else that showed me that Diddy was wrong about their talent. I ain't talking about what else went on at these parties, guys. Because Ronnie just said be resourceful. You should still be developing your talent now, or you just go always talk about, well, what Diddy did to me ruined me. Okay, are you in therapy for it so you can get over it? We still got to get back and do business.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good one, though. That was a good one.
Yeah, my own.
I got a couple more.
Oh, okay, good.
I got a couple more. Don't crave the old life once you get new money.
Now, how they not
Don't crave the old life once you get new money, guys. And I'm telling y'all right now. I ain't the most successful guy in the world, but the one thing I knew is if I ever got successful, the only thing I wanted to do was be careful with who I spent my time with instead of trying to be out and about like I was back in the day. And I knew how to enjoy being alone. Because we got taught that our value wasn't how many friends we had coming up. That's why now, how many followers you got, how many Facebook friends you got, all this kind of stuff. Well, now success is completely different. So you can't crave this old life. Y'all got to know one of the hardest things. On Sunday now, I called DoorDash up and I get my Cracker Barrel sent to me.
I thought you had got rid of DoorDash.
Well, they got DoorDash delivery. I order it directly from the website now. But guys, let me tell you this. When people who don't know me from my old life find out I go to Cracker Barrel, first thing they say, Jeff, I didn't know you ate there. Yeah, I love myself some Cracker Barrel. Okay.
Catfish.
You gotta get the catfish. You gotta get the catfish if you eat. You gotta get the catfish, or if you eat that for breakfast, you gotta get the country ham, country boy biscuit. Country boy breakfast. But you got to. You cannot crave. You can't crave the old life, guys. And Diddy wanted to go back and be the guy in the hood with his newfound money, his newfound riches, his newfound fame.
I'm gonna just say this. This may be a little controversial, but what if Cassie's husband saw the newfound money since he had just found her?
Oh, I agree. I'm not a fan of him.
You know,
I'm not a fan of him at all.
When you just said that, I was like, ooh, because she wasn't saying anything, and if she was, it wasn't loud enough for anybody to say something about. But it seems like once he got involved, stuff got rolling. It seems like.
Well, Rhonda, let's be honest, right?
I don't know all the whole story.
And guys, look, let me tell you this. I'm glad you brought up Cassie because we don't know if Cassie is victim one in the thing, but right. I'm glad Rhonda brought up Cassie because I got a problem with Cassie's husband.
That's public information.
Cassie, when she left Diddy, when she finally got the courage to leave Diddy, she said, I'm going to choose a man with a regular life. I want to get away from that life. Well, you got with this man. This man, y'all got married. Y'all had babies. Well, now this man is the number one leading these civil suits against Diddy, putting her back through that trauma. So make sure you ain't going to choose nobody that...
He knows that he can. She used to get...
She's used to getting treated that way.
Yeah.
Yes, she's used to getting treated that way.
And
guys, that's another podcast for another day. That make sure your spouse ain't taking advantage of you more than the person you just escaped. That's a separate life lesson. Where a lot of y'all don't understand the person who said
it just seems like that. It just seems like if she was doing something, I mean, I know I didn't, hear anything about it, but I'm not in those channels like that all the time. But it seems like it picked up more steam though once, And not saying that he wasn't genuine with it. It just seemed like, hey, what's up with that?
If I heard that you went through some trauma and now you having to relive it. But all that person care about is doing the same thing that Diddy did to you, but he just doing it differently.
Let me hit you a different way.
I'm going to hit you a different way because I already know what your weakness is, right? And that's the saddest part, guys.
But certain forms of abuse are more digestible than others. I'm going to just say it.
That's true. That's true. Now, that's another topic for another day, right? The digestible abuses versus the indigestible ones, right?
Lord, there you go.
Just like my fiber. I got my digestible. I got my insoluble, right?
Yes.
So, but that's what, Rhonda, I had to realize. You can't crave that old life. You cannot recreate your old life with money you didn't have money.
You can't forget that old life because guess what else get instilled in us? culturally.
Don't forget where you come from.
Yeah, like it's really
Worst
hard. Like,
worst advice anybody can give you.
yeah, man, I had my little aquapana last night with my little meal. Rhonda, what you
And water go
drinking?
down nice. You feel it.
I
You
don't
feel it
drink. I
going
don't
down
drink
when you drink
restaurant
it.
water. Jeff put me onto it. Yeah, I threw your name in there. Jeff put me onto it. Well,
I'm just going, JB. I know
what
who she's
kind of
talking about.
water is that? Huh?
When you drink the aqua panna coming out of that glass,
Yes.
you feel it's hydrating you.
Yeah. So, but it's like, no, I don't want no regular tap water. I don't.
Yes, yes. And guys, the reason that's what I'm telling you. The only way I can get in trouble in life is if I go back trying to prove to the old life that I'm somebody now. I made it out now. Follow me. Follow me. Look at me. And that Diddy got people right now. They didn't come asking for Diddy. Diddy came asking for them. And that's the problem. Because
let me hear from Junior Mafia. Let me hear from them. Let me see what they got to say.
Look, we ain't heard nothing from Lil C's. We ain't heard nothing from Lil Kim.
Like,
we ain't heard nothing from Faye. We ain't heard nothing from the Locks.
Yeah, like
Black Rob dead.
But see,
right?
that's the flip side. Yes.
And guess what, guys? One of the things we try, like, I don't crave the old life. And people from my old life hate that I forgot where I came from. Right?
I mean, you be funny.
And what I mean? What do I mean I forgot where I came from? I don't let that way of thinking run me now. Right? Oh, I still dap you up. We can still go out, but I'm not subscribing to what you think like that no more. Because once your situation changes, your system better change. Once your situation changes, your system better change. And a lot of people don't get that component run. A lot of people, and only minorities get taught this, by the way. Only minorities get taught, don't forget where you came from.
Black people.
Okay, only black people get taught, don't forget where you came from.
Yes.
And so now black people, the guilt you get when you are successful and you're the one who made it out. And I can't remember who wrote a book. I think it was a book that somebody wrote called Rich Guilt, where you are all of a sudden like, damn, I thought all of us were working towards something, and you look around and you don't, like, damn, what happened? Why didn't everybody else get it? Well, everybody else dealing with something different, right? Yeah. Life happens to everybody, right? And one of the things I tell people is, when the Red Sea opened, you had an opportunity to go across it. But if you got in there and decided you wasn't going to go no further, okay, it's going to close. You should have just stayed over your Egypt, right? Instead of coming over. So, guys, I don't crave the old life once the new life showed me a better way. And one of the things that's happened, there's a lot of people who are a lot more smarter than me, more talented than me, got more qualities than me. But guess what? They're so deeply rooted in a way of thinking that they're going to try to make work that they never leave outside of they never leave outside of their bondage ecosystem. Never live outside of that bondage ecosystem. Now, Ron, I'm going to go to this next one.
Okay.
This is going to be a different one, guys. Success is lonely, not a party. Success is lonely, not a party. And guys, the moment you get what Puffy has and you start partying, y'all see what it took to make those parties happen? Bunch of alcohol, bunch of narcotics, bunch of baby oil. In that order.
And a bunch of, I was gonna say victims, but a bunch of people.
You can say a bunch of victims. Because
people,
at the end of the day, guys.
Because I think people will willingly come to a Diddy party before all of this. Like, and so
guys,
those ones that knew to leave before stuff went down, they left. So they left.
Look, they say they got videos of Michelle and Barack, got videos of Trump and Melania, got videos of Jay-Z and Beyonce. They say Ben Affleck, and this is all legit, guys. They say Ben Affleck got shown a tape by the FBI that says, here's Jennifer Lopez in the video, which is why he all of a sudden said, you got to go.
Well, that ain't
guys,
surprising.
You see the videos TMZ dropped or the pictures TMZ dropped the other day. Leonardo DiCaprio in the damn thing with him at the white party. And guys, you see all this stuff happening at the Hamptons now? These white parties that they have in the Hamptons, now you know what's going on in there. And see, what happens is, guys, if I'm broke, busted, and disgusted, and I do cocaine, oh, Jeff an addict. But if I'm rich and I control my environment, oh my God, Jeff throw the best parties.
Mm.
And guys, why am I saying this to you? Success is lonely. Even when we get together, Ron, I know who I have around me at all times.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I have around me at all times. I don't want everybody around me. But a lot of people don't like being by themselves, but success is lonely. And we don't get taught that. We get taught we got to bring everybody with us because that's the way you should do it. But that's a recipe of losing everything you got. Jumping around.
Well, yeah, because I mean, when you're carrying everybody with you, and nobody's like pulling their own weight or feel like they don't have to pull their own weight, then yeah, of course, eventually you'll get drugged down. But it's um success should be lonely. Like that's why people are business owners and others are employees. Everybody ain't cut out for certain things. But again, I just feel like the way Diddy was brought up, it's almost like like his album said, no way, like he had to do what he had to do,
And guys, that's the number one thing, guys.
and that's
When you
okay till
start,
you do it to somebody else, till you start affecting other people.
guys, and let me tell y'all, man, let me tell y'all, the number one thing when you start realizing that success is lonely, you don't show up to parties thinking some breakthrough gonna come for you. Like that's nobody gets their breakthrough because they went to some party with all of that. It ain't gonna happen. Even if I went to some party and got noticed, I still got to have a separate meeting with you. But one of the things we don't want to do, we don't want to be just as good at business as we are at partying. And this is why people take advantage of us. Right? So now the guy that's good at business is throwing his party. And I know your addictions. How do I know your addictions? Because I had them. And I still got them. But I got introduced to this thing called business, and I know how this thing works. Right? And that's the whole point, guys. But the reason why I say this is a life lesson about success being lonely, a lot of people think being successful means, man, I'm going to be out there. Everybody going to know me. I'm going to be on the socials. I'm going to be flossing. I want to be somebody. I want everybody to get up. They got to make room for me at the table where they know other reservations, all that kind of stuff. But success is lonely. Why you laughing, Ray? Why you laughing?
How many places have we been with no reservation?
Hey, but why do we go with no reservation? Because we gonna sit at the bar.
Yeah.
We gonna sit at the bar, guys. I'm not going in there. I'm not going to sit in the restaurant no more. I don't sit in the restaurant no more with Les and Nick and Sam's in Dallas. But I don't sit in nobody's restaurant area no more. I'm going to the bar because anytime you can go to the bar, what the reason why I eat at the bar, you can get the best service at the bar. The cooks love the bartenders, which means the food always come out quicker, right? The cook more than likely in love with one of the bartenders, which means your
Oh
food will
Lord,
come
there
out
you
quicker.
go. Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the restaurant is trying to get to the bartender because they make the most money. Because they make the most money, they got to give you the best service. They got to give you the best service because they make the most money. They got to keep that money up. I don't want no reservation. I get some server who train it. Man, we going straight to the bar. Come on in here. Come on in here. I ain't sitting in the cattle call. Come on over here to the bar. But success is lonely, guys, which is why every restaurant needs to have a bar. If that restaurant doesn't have a bar, it's going out of business. Because successful people go to the bar to meet people. In the restaurant, if you bring the people you already know, there's going to be an interaction outside of that.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, Rhonda, I got one more.
Okay.
I got multiple ones, but I want to go. So, the one thing, the other one I got two more.
Okay.
Success means giving everything up that your flesh enjoys.
Mm.
Giving everything up that your flesh enjoys. A lot of this stuff couldn't happen if people's flesh wasn't desiring these things that when you get into business, you got to give up. Guys, I never thought I'd be sitting in a place getting an IV drip because I'm dog tired and I just need to get a reset. Hook me up to that IV drip. Give me some B vitamins. Give me some magnesium and some potassium. Right? Give me some glutathione to clear up my daggone liver. Right?
Mm.
But this is the whole point. You can't look, guys. as much as I would love to get ripped, I can't do it no more because I got so many things on my shoulders that you ain't used to drinking like that and still can do what you want to do and still grow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that, Ronnie? Giving up those things that your flesh wants.
Again, I think you got to have a level of discipline that you know
Yes.
that is what you want over anything else. I think it makes
Mm-hmm.
sense though. Like the flesh will always be that battle, right? Whether you want to call it the devil, my
Yes.
flesh,
Yes.
whatever name you want to
Yes.
give it, right?
Yes.
That's always going to be an issue for people if they're going to be honest with themselves about it, because um the minute you say I gotta stop doing this, not that I am stopping, I gotta stop this.
I gotta stop. It's over. It's over.
It's gonna be so your words do matter, and how you talk to yourself, it does matter. But at the same time, you add a layer of money there
Mm-hmm.
where sometimes like you don't have to adhere to the same rules. The rules some of the same rules don't apply when you reach a certain level. And I think that's the thing
Stop
with
right there.
Diddy. He reached a
Stop
certain
right
level.
there. That's the next round. That's another lesson within that.
Mm-hmm.
The more successful I am, the more rules I got.
Mm.
Right? Like this is the hardest part I had to learn. When you are not at the level you want to be, you think that person just break all the rules. No, that person got more rules than you ever would believe. And Diddy
Well, it seems
neglected
like
those rules.
the ones they breaking are real big.
Yeah, absolutely. But Diddy didn't realize with that level, to whom much is given, much is required. When you start breaking the rules at a high level, the fall is even greater. You cannot break the rules. That's why a lot of people don't want to be successful.
Up from them. They have snatched.
Bro, they snatched. They look. He might get out of this, but he ain't gonna be the Diddy we know.
Mm-mm.
He might get out of this, but he ain't gonna ever go back to being a Diddy. Guys, y'all gotta give up those things your flesh wants. If you don't, everything you gain gonna be taken by your flesh being in control of it.
Mm.
By your flesh, guys. I never used to drink bourbon. Jeff, drink bourbon so you can slow yourself down. Jeff, smoke a cigar so you can slow yourself down and process what's happening around you. Because once you get to a certain level, life is moving fast. And if you don't slow down, you're going to crash. Right? So the reason I do the smoke something, drink something podcast, grab a drink. Let's get into this conversation. Right, guys? And a lot of people, they know, don't text me, man. I got a podcast going on. Right? Jeff, man, you talk to your sister all the time. That's different. That's different. We on the podcast. When we on the podcast, we working on something bigger.
And I barely contribute.
we were. Hey, but you here?
Yeah.
See, some of y'all don't understand, right? Old school Baptist people, man. I just want to be in the number. If I'm in the number, right? If I'm in the number, when it rain on everybody. And I'm telling y'all now, we just passed 6,000, and it ain't gonna be long for I'm telling y'all, man. Look, bruh, we getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, guys,
timing is everything.
These conversations we have is so that, man, look, some of y'all need to heal. Some of y'all need to heal and be able to talk to somebody. Me and Rhonda just document our conversation publicly.
That's it.
This ain't work for us. This ain't work for us, right? Rhonda, the last one I got as we get ready to get out of here. The last one I got is stop hoping people from your old life will understand your new life. Stop hoping people from your old life will understand your new life. Y'all got to understand, when Diddy went back to get these people, he promised them, hey, man, this is what's happening over here. Come over here with me. When realistically, Diddy should have went and fished from a different pond based on a new life.
Everything started at home, though. Everything started home.
Everything started home.
Your kids selling some popcorn, where you going first?
Yep. And don't get me wrong, that popcorn be good though.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's where you gonna start. Then
you go back to that.
Job. Then you go to mom and dad.
Yes. Yes, guys, learn to fish in a different pond, okay? Because you trying to go back to a pond that you know. That's all I'm saying, guys. Stop hoping that people from your old life go understand the new life. Stop trying to bring people from the old into the new. Let me tell y'all something about, if people want to be in your life, they call you. You ain't got to call them. That's the one thing. Diddy was going back and getting these people, and then those people started bringing people. And then all of a sudden,
Well, to take the
you
heat
know, you
off of
bring
them. To take the heat off of
you
them.
take it, yes, to take the heat off of them, bro. I don't want to be oiled up tonight, bro. Okay,
Mm,
who you got for me?
mm, mm.
Look, brother, when I saw allegedly Carl Winslow from Family Matters in that indictment, allegedly,
He on Dancing with the Stars right now.
yeah, yeah, Carl Winslow, it allegedly was with Diddy,
And this was in that
Al-
affidavit.
allegedly on these tapes, And guys, I'm telling y'all right now, Diddy, Diddy got to go. He's guaranteed a trial with a jury of his peers. I don't think Diddy gonna get convicted because I find it hard to believe that 12 New Yorkers are gonna convict Diddy. That's just me. Now, Diddy put New York above everything, and I think New York gonna stand up for him if he can make it to trial. That's just what I think.
Mm.
Okay, but stop hoping the old life people gonna understand the new life, and stop trying to put your life on them. Guys, I see Rhonda at least once a year. We don't get to see each other every weekend. She busy, I'm busy.
Thank goodness.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of y'all don't understand. You're trying to spend so much time around people, and you're not letting them grow. You're not letting them grow. Like, I ain't got to see you every day. And a lot of people don't understand it. They bring that, Rhonda called it the childhood trauma, right? We fortunate, man. I grew up when everybody who I was cool with right there with me. Like, we look, guys, grandma right there, aunts right there, cousins right there.
Mm-hmm.
Then you leave that protection, and you got to learn how to do these things without those people. But stop trying to bring the old people into your new life, because everybody, when you go back to these Diddy situations, they all from the same place. Jump in that ring. Let me know what you think about that one.
No, look, once your circle of influence starts to crumble, that should be a sign right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about how often Puffy Puff, how often he changed his
Love.
name, like, you know what I'm saying? How
Yes.
often he changed his name.
Yes.
Almost makes you wonder, like, hey, did something happen? And then, like, oh, let me create this new version
Let me create this new
of
persona.
myself, right? Like,
Yes.
and so, so I mean, again, hindsight is 2020 when you think about certain things like that. We just think, oh, he Diddy now, or he Puffy, or he puffed that. Like, it's like, oh, he, you know,
Yeah.
but we don't know. It could have been something where it was kind of like, damn, maybe he did something.
But Rhonda, you making a good point. He recreated himself.
Yes, yeah.
Other people didn't. They stayed the same. And the life lesson is, guys, you got to keep evolving. He kept recreating the name probably every time he got caught up. And he said, let me create a new moniker. Let me create a new marketing brand. So
Right.
again, guys,
I don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't know, so it's going to be interesting. I'm here to see to see whatever's going to happen. It's going to be the trial of the century.
What we're going to do, guys, and again, me and Rhonda, I'm going to start. Rhonda and I talk about a lot of stuff, right? And the reason I talk about relationships with Rhonda a lot is because we always talking to people who dealing with relationship stuff, right? So it's just fun to talk about on the podcast. But as this Diddy trial goes on, I'm going to start having this podcast dedicated to just kind of talking about it, because the Diddy situation impacted our lives, right? So we watching, and some of our heroes are dying, some of our musicians are dying. And if you watch the movie Get On Out, when Little Richard came to talk to James Brown in that movie, he said, "Bruh, all of us gonna go through it. All y'all, you gonna go through it too." He said, "You gonna meet." He said, "You gonna meet the devil." And he ain't gonna have, he said, he ain't gonna have no red horns and a red tail. He gonna be dressed up in a suit. And you got to decide if you're gonna make a deal with him or not.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, guys, we keep thinking the devil is something you can't see. Now the devil is right there in front of your face in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
Every day.
Sometimes it's you.
And sometimes you the one.
Mm-hmm.
But when you don't have to take advantage of people to get a good deal. The goal is business is all about a mutually beneficial transaction, man. And what Diddy has gotten himself into, he gonna have to get himself out of. Now, the reason why I think he gonna get off is he done got out of everything else. He done got out of everything else. To read that indictment and to know that they came and scooped him up the night before he was gonna turn himself in, yeah, and he got to get out of this on his own. But in essence, the same way he built it, he can probably save it. Rhonda, what's your takeaway from tonight?
Man, you know, all you could think about is Diddy's kids, man. Like, it's Diddy gonna do what Diddy gonna do. He did whatever he
Mm-hmm.
did allegedly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he he knew what he was doing. Whether he thought it was legal or not, or what have you. He just knew that he had a certain amount of power. So that lets me know there was a level of greed there, and
Yes.
and a level of, yeah, you can't touch me type stuff going on, whatever you
Yes.
may want to call that. And so the unfortunate part of it is the people that were dependent on him, that he was responsible for, meaning his kids.
Yes. And,
Like, then
and what are
they'll be good.
and I appreciate that, guys. My takeaway is simple. My takeaway is simple. Um, study success. Study success while you're not successful. Because if you learn on the fly, whatever you get, you ain't gonna keep. Whatever you get, you ain't gonna keep. Guys, I could look. I could easily took this hour to go out and try to party, go out and hit a bar, go out and do something that's not productive. But what am I doing? And I never meant success mean I got to work more. Because I got taught success meant you work less. No, it means you work more. And a lot of y'all thinking that I want to get it so I can just party all the time, so I can do what I want to do. No, it means you work more. The success system requires feeding it. And it never gets satisfied. It never gets satisfied, man. And y'all know what it is. It's Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. I'm the Real Cigar Jeff. Just like I said, man, when y'all came on, the screen was messing up. So y'all get down in the comment section. I know ain't none of y'all listened to me when she was struggling with her screen. So y'all get down in the comments, man. Let us know what you think, man. What y'all think about the Diddy situation? What y'all think, man? Ron and Jeff crazy, or they own or something? Look down in the description. Get the merch. Support the channel, man. Follow us on the socials, man. We just here to give y'all these real people with real conversation. I want to thank my resident entertainment expert. She got all these certifications y'all don't know about, man.
No,
She got
I
all these
don't.
certifications. Let them know where they can find you on the socials.
On Instagram at RMBLMBT.
Man, and y'all know y'all can find me at The Real Cigar Jeff on all the platforms, man. And man, until next time, we go holler. Yes, Lord. Yes.